and Ms. DuPont just made a great point, how much power that your property appraiser has. Because if the county commissioners, unlike ours, that are running for re-election, that raised our taxes, both on the gas tax and on our properties, if we don't raise the millage, the property appraiser has the power to raise our taxes by coming in and estimating the values at a higher rate on our property. So your taxes will go up regardless. Your property appraiser is probably one of the most powerful individuals in the county, and you need to pay attention to that. Our next speaker. We're going to move on to Ms. Karen Schoen. She's a candidate over, well, actually, you're District 5. She's running for state representative in District 5. Karen is the guru on all things political, with everything going on. She's a walking, talking encyclopedia. You can wind her up. She can talk for 8 minutes on anything that affects your life and what the politicians are doing to it. So please, give her your ear.
Thank you all, and thank you all for coming today, and it is my pleasure to speak with you all. First of all, I want to thank all of the military for the job that you've done. I know you're taking a beating, and I'm going to explain why, and that's why I'm here today. You've heard a lot of problems, you heard what's going on, but now it's time to talk about solutions. We believe in truth, education, conversation, and action, and now we are part of what has to be action. There is no such thing as I am one and I have no power, because that is the power of American exceptionalism. Our country was built on American exceptional individual sovereignty, because our founders recognized that the individual is the most powerful sovereign, and when sovereigns get together, they do remarkable things. And that's our Constitution. Put in there all of the things that are necessary. All of the tools are in the toolbox called the Constitution. The problem is, over the years, the Constitution has been diluted. And that has been done, as Debbie Gano said, in school. Common Core is just a result of a very dangerous program. And I say dangerous because I know it is based and rooted in communism. And communism always leads to bad things. And people tell me, oh, Karen, that doesn't mean anything. It's not going to make any difference. The kids will get out of school. They'll make their own decisions. They won't. What does it matter? It matters. Abe Lincoln said whatever is taught in school today is in our government tomorrow. And he's absolutely right. And I want to read to you, this is a book. It's called Rescue Mission Planet Earth. And it is also said a child's edition of Agenda 21. Now, this book was in our school systems in 1994 in the older elementary school. I want you to think, where are those kids today? What are they doing today? Who are the kids that learned what was in this book? You will know right after I read you just 3 simple lines. This line says, polluters, Agenda 21 says, polluters should pay for the damage they cause. Hold that thought. Who are the polluters? The military wastes the environment. According to the World Watch Institute, the military is the single biggest polluter on Earth. What did they tell the kids to do? Agenda 21 says funds could be raised by reallocating resources now committed to the military. What are we doing today? What did our kids learn in 1994? And where are those kids today? They are in our government. They are our government officials sitting in unconstitutional bureaucratic agencies. Now, how can I say that? Well, our Constitution, Article 4, Section 4, guarantees each state, and by state they mean individual, the right to a Republican, defined as representative, using elected officials, to perform the tasks of creating laws. Marbury versus Madison says, any unconstitutional law repugnant to the Constitution is automatically voided because it cannot be enforced. And what are we doing today? In the 70s, Richard Nixon divided our country into the 10 regions called for by the United Nations. And we have allowed regional plans and regional programs that are unconstitutionally based because they are manned by unelected bureaucrats to come in and eat away at our country. And nothing is more evident of that than what is going on right now in Nevada. Why was Mr. Bundy taking arms against the Bureau of Land Management? Because he does not recognize the Bureau of Land Management as a legal entity. His family did business with the state of Nevada, and he complied with Nevada law. And when the Bureau of Land Management came down and stated that they were taking over this land, Mr. Bundy said, no, my deal is with Nevada. And if I allow the Bureau of Land Management to take over this land, I am ceding the power of the people of Nevada to the federal government. And he said no. And he took a stand, one person, one family. And today I just found out about 2 minutes ago that the feds are leaving the state of Nevada. That is the power of one individual. So I don't ever want anyone to say, I am one person, what can I do? In Florida, we are being eaten alive by Agenda 21, which has multitude of feel-good names like sustainable development. I tell everyone the minute you hear the word sustainable, take it out and put in control, because that's what this is about. The laws, the regulations that are being promoted in our state house are totally 100% unconstitutional and cannot be enforced. I'm running for office because that was my action. And I saw one of the worst amendments that I have ever seen that the Florida Land Trust is promoting erroneously by calling it water and land conservation. And they got 700,000 people who believe in conserving the land to sign this amendment. And now this amendment is going to be on the ballot in 2014. This amendment will require we the people to provide the land trust, AKA Florida Forever, AKA 1,000 friends, and I could go on and on. It will provide them with $19 billion, with a B, dollars from our treasury to steal our private property and water resources. The environmental movement is not about saving the environment. It is about money, power, and control, because this group of progressives in both political parties believe that private property must take a back seat for the good of the collective. There will be no private property in the state of Florida if this amendment passes. And so when people say, what can I do? I say, you have a voice and you can use it. There isn't anybody sitting here today that can't go home and continually tell 3 or 4 people, vote no on Amendment 1 and pass it along. $19 billion. They tell us not to worry, it will just come from dock stamps. Part of dock stamps is supposed to go for programs for the elderly and the poor. If we strip those programs, who will pay for the elderly and the poor? We will. We will be asked again because there will be no money to support them. Amendment 1 is a lie. Amendment 1 is a hoax. And Amendment 1's purpose is to steal our water and land and put it in the hands of bureaucrats who will eventually put it in the hands of global corporations who will turn around and say, look, Florida, after we stole your house and your land and your business, we'll give you a job. We used to call jobs just over broke. America was made on small businesses, not being beholden to someone else for a job. Another program that I'm going to ask all of you to investigate is called the Common Law Grand Jury. The Common Law Grand Jury was sanctioned in our Constitution in Amendments 1, 5, and 7, whereby we are told a grand jury of our peers will adjudicate. Over the years, the progressives changed that from a common law grand jury into a civil grand jury responsible to the prosecutor, when in fact the common law grand jury put in place in each county by we the people is supposed to have oversight on our government and political process. So are you surprised that they changed the name and don't want us to know about it? That's why. The common law grand jury is sanctioned also by the Supreme Court. In 1992, Justice Scalia made a statement as part of a decision, and that statement was, the common law grand jury is the fourth arm of government. It is the government of the common folks, because America was founded on common law for the people. It is not up to us to allow this to be dismissed or erased, and the Supreme Court is not allowed to change any of the indictments or presentments put in place by the common law grand jury. There's information on the table, please get it. There's many things that you can get involved to do. I'm running for office. It does not mean when I get to office that I only vote for District 5. Any legislator that goes to office in Tallahassee votes for the entire state. It is up to us to support our local candidates because those are the ones that we know will answer to us. I'm asking everyone just like John is. I've asked the people in my district, $10 buys a yard sign and buys business cards. And that's all we need to get the message out. If you can donate, that is wonderful. If you can't, District 5 is Walton, Holmes, Washington, Jackson, and North Bay counties. If you have friends there, tell them to vote for Karen Schoen. I thank you very much. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you all for listening.